Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the webinar, BELBIN for Effective Working Relationships. Thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to add value. This webinar is part of a series of webinars that CERT India runs as part of BELBIN Knowledge Series, just precisely to add value to the human resource, learning and development, and management community to help improve the performance through people. I hope you can all hear me comfortably. In order to make sure that this webinar runs quite smoothly, I would request you to turn off your audio on your mobiles or your desktops, or wherever you are. And we will not use the video to preserve the bandwidth. So thank you once again for the opportunity to value. Let's begin BELBIN for Effective Working Relationship. My name is Ravi, and I head CERT Team Development India, the regional representative for India and Sri Lanka. BELBIN brought to you by CERT India. I wear two hats actually. The one hat I wear is running a company called Mercury Government India, the brand leader in the area of sales performance improvement. The second hat I wear is that of deeply committed to empowering organizations and people through the power of the path-breaking discovery of Dr. Meredith BELBIN. And today, for the next 30 to 40 minutes time, I'm going to be wearing this hat. And you're going to learn something wonderful, something powerful, which can help improve working relationships in organizations. I want to make this webinar interactive. I'm going to ask you some questions, perhaps. Ask you to share some thoughts. I'd like you to use your chat box to send in the messages. We'll use the chat box very efficiently to make sure that we are well connected. So thank you once again, and BELBIN for Effective Working Relationship. Why do some working relationships fail to produce the desired results? People working individually fine. Put them together to work on an assignment, a project, or even a daily management in organization. Working relationship fail. I can't work with him. She can't work with me, whatever. Why do some working relationship fail to produce the desired results? Can I ask you to text on the chat boxes? What could be some of the reasons why working relationship may fail to produce the desired results between two people? Yep. 10 seconds for your messages to pop into the chat box. What could be some of the reasons? Why? Why does this happen? Ego? Yeah, oh, absolutely. Shravati talks about personality conflicts. Oh, yes, one more ego coming in. Oh, there's plenty of ego around us. Yes, you are right. Absolutely. All right. What else? Something else. Yeah. Okay. Some more answers from some more chat boxes. Few more seconds remaining. Yeah. Somebody else. Anything else? That's possible. Conflicting interests, absolutely fabulous. No common goals, yes, people may have different. NCC talks about, yes, we may be unaware of process of working between two people, perfectly. Busy with their own target, Vasanta, yes, absolutely, that's possible. In that way, I can't really work with someone else. No directions, Brahmanyan, very true. Sometimes lack of directions could be a challenge as well. Yes, absolutely, good, good. I think some lovely. Lack of trust, says Smita, is it? Oh, yes. Trust is the heart of two people working together. Very true. Thank you, Deshankar. Absolutely true. No coordination, cooperation. Yes, Vasanta. Lack of incentive for collaboration. Wow, that's a nice word. Okay, okay. Sometimes I gently use a nice word. Collaboration itself is an incentive. Why do we need an incentive for collaboration? But that's being a little philosophical now. All right, we'll leave it that. Absolutely true. Okay. So there's plenty of reasons why working relationship can fail to produce the desired results. Working relationships can be challenging. Would like to bring the 5 dysfunctions of a team. Yes, Subramanian. Yes, it's possible. Very true. Here I'm talking even simply between 2 people, not even a team which is 3 or 4 or 5 people. I'm just talking just 2 people. Yes, working relationships can be challenging. Leave me alone, I can do well. We can't work together. These are commonly heard words in organization. So working relationships can certainly be challenging. Well, can we solve this problem? Can we give some pointers to how can we make working relationships better, make it more productive, make it more effective? That's where awareness of BELBIN team roles can provide pointers to help you build productive working relationships. All the webinars which I run now, I introduce BELBIN team role and then take the application of BELBIN team role to this particular webinar. The first webinar which I ran several months ago, last year in fact, was only on, hey, this is what BELBIN team roles, which I think is, in the last 40, 50 years' time, one of the path-breaking, probably the most path-breaking discovery on human behavior. BELBIN is affable. BELBIN is simple. BELBIN can really, it's difficult to be simple, and BELBIN helps us to understand people much better. It's a beautiful language of human behavior. When there's a language, we can talk to each other well. If we don't understand the language, we can't talk. BELBIN is a language of human behavior. The complex human behavior, the unpredictable human behavior, and BELBIN helps us to predict human behavior and handle people and handle ourselves most effectively. So awareness of BELBIN team roles can provide pointers to help you build productive working relationships. Let's look at part 1 of this webinar, BELBIN team roles. BELBIN team roles is a path-breaking discovery of Dr. Meredith BELBIN. CERT India and I have had the joy of working with Meredith and his team for over several years now. It's been just a privilege to work with Meredith. And sometimes I think, what a wonderful language of human behavior. If we all can understand well, if only I had learned this some years ago, earlier, I'd have been even a better professional, a better person. What is this team roles all about? Dr. BELBIN looks at 2 kinds of roles that we all have in our lives. One is our functional role. We all have a job. HR executive, HR manager, compensation manager, learning and development manager, business HR partner, sales manager, marketing manager. And these functional roles keep changing. As part of development, as part of growth, as a part of reward for performance, we get promoted in organization and functional roles change. There's another role, which is a team role. 2 roles, the functional role and the team role. The team role is an individual's. What is this team role? A team role is defined by Meredith BELBIN in simple, powerful words. A tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate with others in a particular way. Look at those lovely words: tendency, behave, contribute, interrelate. What is the meaning of the word tendency? Could you just text in your box? Tell me, what do you think is the meaning of the word tendency? What does tendency communicate? What's tendency? Just a few messages from the text box. What's tendency? Yes. What's tendency? More often than not. Absolutely, Kea, very true. Right? Good one. I like the word. More often than not. Okay, somehow. Eagerness to act. Okay, all right, interesting. Okay, something else. It's a tendency of an individual. We all have certain tendencies. So what's the meaning of the word tendency? Yeah, somehow. Skills. Come to that later. Yes, right, something else. Tendency, any other word. I'm looking for some simple behavior. Okay, all right, that's interesting. Okay, any other word. The moment you simply use the word, I have this tendency. What's the first thing? Habit. Interesting. Right, okay. So can I use the word inclination, a preference, an aptitude, something natural, a natural inclination? We all have a certain tendency to behave. Let me give a little funny story, an interesting example. Let's say many years ago, I was in, several years ago, several decades ago, I was in college. I just completed, got my first job, and on a Friday evening or even a Saturday evening, because those days we used to work Saturdays as well, sometimes even now, on a Saturday evening at about 7 o'clock, I get a bright idea. Hey, we must see a film, and I quickly hop onto my motorbike and go to one of our friends and tell him, hey, let's go for a film, man. Let's spend some time, watch a film, 7 o'clock Saturday evening. And that other guy is full of joy. He says, okay, let me get ready. Within a moment, in a ziffy, he's ready. He hops onto the bike, and I'm riding the bike. Then suddenly I ask him, hey, 7 o'clock Saturday, will we get tickets for this movie? He says, oh, we don't know. Doesn't matter, we'll try another movie. Suppose we don't get tickets for another movie as well. Oh, it doesn't really matter. We'll have a meal together and come back. One guy, he behaves in this way. That's his natural inclination. There's another guy, a friend of mine as well. I go to him and say, hey, let's go for a film. Saturday evening, 7 o'clock. Same situation, but the friend is different. He looks at me probably a little sternly. What's the time now? 7 o'clock. What's the day today? Saturday. On Saturday, 7 o'clock, you expect movie theaters to be empty waiting for you and I to walk in, is it? No, no, no. So if you want to go for a movie on a Saturday, when do you think you should have thought about it? Maybe Wednesday. Yeah. Understand? There's no point in going and trying for a film at 7 o'clock. You get a bright idea. Forget it. Okay? Okay. Tell me, next time when I want to go for a movie, will I ask the first guy or the second guy? Come on, give me some text messages. Who will I try? First guy or the second guy? First, naturally. Isn't it true? Absolutely. The first guy. I'll certainly try the first guy because I want to go for a movie, and he says, yeah, let's go for a movie. The second guy makes movie going looks like a strategic planning in a company. Forget it. Terrible. But think about it. Both behave differently, but both are contributing in their own mind. The first guy thinks he's contributing to me because I want to have some fun. I want to have some good time. Ravi wants to have some good time. So let's go with him for a movie. Doesn't matter what the movie is. After all, if the movie is all same. If a movie is not good, we can always have good time together over a meal or a glass of beer. That's his mental way of thinking contribution. The second guy also thinks he's contributing. How do you think the second person is thinking he's contributing? Could you text in your messages? How do you think he's doing it? He's also contributing in his mind. Of course I'm contributing in his mind. How is he doing it? How do you think he thinks he's contributing, the second guy? Come on, some quick answers. Avoiding the problems for his friend Kiran Bhatt. Absolutely, yes. Avoiding the problem because we may not get a ticket. Okay, anyone else? Anything else is avoiding? Anything else is contributing? Yeah, the second one. Anything else? One more answer from somewhere. Let's hear that. Yeah, someone else. He is also contributing in his mind very clearly, perhaps. Yeah, somebody else? Yeah, anyone else? I'll wait for a couple of seconds, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Saves time. Yes, absolutely. This guy is unplanned. He's going to watch a movie which is not a good movie because he has no other choice. He wastes his time, money, gets a headache as well. I'm making him get a little more better organized, a better plan. So both think they're contributing, but I think only the first guy is contributing. The second guy is negative. He is not really in line with me and sync with me. So tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate. People work with each other. Some people love to talk to other people. Some people, even there's a crowd, they would like to stay a little away, have a quiet conversation, if at all. People relate with others differently. So tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate with others in a particular way. So that's what Dr. BELBIN defines as a team role. Okay? That's interesting, Ravi. Is there only one team role? Or there's several team roles? Yes. Meredith discovered 9 team roles. There are 9 team roles, and the beauty of these 9 team roles is all of them can be, if you look at each team role, the team roles can be bucketed under 3 distinct big large buckets. The first bucket is action-related team roles. Team roles, some people have a task orientation. Some people have an action oriented. So that is a first set of team roles. The one is the shaper, You can see the lovely little symbol for the shaper, which is a beautiful whip in the hand. And I mean, if you want to drive a horse, if you want to ride a horse, you've got to have a whip in the hand. You can't tell the horse, come on horse, can we go please if you don't mind? It doesn't work. You've got to have a whip in the horse. It doesn't mean you keep only whipping the horse, but you need a whip in the horse as well. What are the positives of this team role? Challenging, dynamic, goal-oriented, has drive and courage. They look at obstacles as something which need to be just gone over. They don't like to handle obstacles in a very nice way. They want to just look at obstacles in a strong way. And every strength has a certain weakness as well. Every strength has a certain weakness as well. They are prone to provocation and can be blunt and upset people. If I'm too goal-oriented, I can really be a little blunt and upset people. So that's a shaper. A shaper sets high standards in terms of performance and goals and wants people to do that. Implementer. An implementer is a lovely guy. Look at this symbol, a beautiful symbol. It's a gears, 2 gears working, repetitive, but without gears, no movement takes place, no action takes place, no transmission takes place. Disciplined, organized, efficient, turns ideas into action. And there's a flip side to that. Somewhat inflexible, slow to respond to new ideas and approaches. An implementer likes to follow a process, likes to be task-driven, wants to complete job in time. But in between, if something happens, want to change the process. No, we can't do that. An implementer. You got the third guy, the completer finisher. You can see the beautiful spanner, right? And if you want to tighten the nut and bolt in a wheel, you got to do it a precise job. If you tighten it more, it's danger. If you don't tighten it, the wheel falls off as well. Otherwise, the wheel won't rotate if it's too tight. A completer finisher is a lovely, accurate, conscientious, meticulous, a perfectionist. If I do anything, it has got to be perfect. There are only 2 words, perfect, imperfect. There's nothing like a 90% perfect. But a completer finisher also wants to do the job in time and, of course, to high standards. Of course, if he's got to compromise, time is slightly compromisable, but not the standard, never. Therefore, inclined to worry unduly. Sense of anxiety could be whole, because everything has got to be so perfect, and reluctant to delegate. I don't think nowadays the new guys who come in are as perfect as we used to be those days. How can you delegate to people who are not perfect? All are task-related. The shaper goal-oriented, the process and time-oriented implementer, and the perfection-oriented, accuracy-oriented, detail-oriented completer finisher. So you've got 3 sets of people. These are the normal human behavior. They show this natural preference, the tendency to demonstrate this behavior. So that's a task. Of course, you've got the people side, the social team roles. What are the social team roles? The person with a phone. Probably we should change it to a symbol to Facebook now, I don't know. Or maybe a WhatsApp or social media, whatever. The resource investigator. Enthusiastic, communicative, explores opportunities, develop contact. Probably goes to, telephone book has got 5,000 contacts. Can always find someone somewhere to be connected with. Somebody who is externally driven very nicely, full of energy, over optimistic, easily bored, and can lose interest because interest in so many things, can be distracted, can lose interest very quickly. But a resource investigator has the ability to bring in ideas from outside, has so many contacts, is network guy very strongly. That's a resource investigator. You got to the person who is a coordinator. Look at the lovely symbol. The person who is holding in front of the symphony, the orchestra. Sometimes when people don't know much about Western classical music, they may even be wondering, what's this person doing? Everyone has an instrument, has got something in front of them. There seems to be something to read as well and do. This guy is nothing. He's just moving a stick up and down. No, without him it won't happen. He has got the ability to get the best out of people. Calm, confident, clarifies goal, promotes joint decision making. A shepherd decides and tells. A coordinator encourages people, looks at joint and consensus decision making if possible. But in the process, there's a flip side. Can be seen as manipulative and offloads personal work. Sometimes you wonder, what is a coordinator actually doing? The third team role, which is that of a team worker in the social, you can see the holding hands. I mean, obviously, you can see a lot of care in the picture. Cooperative, caring, diplomatic, sensitive, averse friction. Like a lubricant in an automobile engine. Lubricant in an automobile engine. Tell me, friend, you can just text a message and in a few seconds you can tell me, when do you know the value of a lubricant in an engine? When do you know the value of a lubricant in an engine? Come on. Some few answers, one or two answers on the text. Yes. Oh, thank you, Natarajan. That's fantastic. When it sees us, okay? Think about it. We know the value of a lubricant only when it is not there. Yes, Aaron? When it breaks down. When lubricant is working nicely, we don't even worry about it. We don't even care about it. When a team worker is present and everything is harmonious, smooth sailing, everything is happening nicely, people are happy, nobody even bothers about it. But when a teamwork is absent, you can see the stress and tensions all the time. Right. Just hold on, wait, Chai. I'm coming to that. Don't be in a hurry. How can one change his personality? Should he even change at all? We're going to discuss that. Absolutely. All right. And I'm going to say a few moments from now, I'm going to take one of your words out and I'm going to say some other word. Okay. Just hold on for a while. I love your enthusiasm. Teamwork, cooperative, caring, diplomatic, sensitive, averse friction, may be indecisive when faced with tough decisions because any decision can hurt people. So, how can I take this decision? So, shaper, implementer, computer finisher, resource investigator, coordinator, and a team worker. You know, it's like the hands and the legs are your task. The heart is your people social. Of course, human body cannot work without the brain at the top. You have the team role. The bulb glows with an idea, the plant. It's called a plant because it plants an idea in the team. Creative, imaginative, original, offers alternative approaches. Unorthodox, can come out with crazy ideas. Of course, we don't know which one is very good because one of them is damn good, of course. But you got to listen to the other ones as well. But the plant is churning his ideas inside, therefore preoccupied by thoughts and appears to be not communicative because the communication is taking place inside. That's a lovely plant. Plants are path-breaking ideators, creative, absolutely. You have the right brain, but you have the left brain, the monitor evaluator. Analytical, the eye. I have a name for that, I call it the third eye, right in the center, absolutely. Logical, analytical, discerning, makes decisions based on facts. Monitor evaluator loves Excel in Microsoft. A plant, oh God, one more Excel sheet, loves a paintbrush. That's a plant's characteristic. But because of logical, analytical, discerning, I work with some lovely monitor evaluators, they can be a little slow moving because they see the dark side a little more stronger. They're binary guys more often, right, wrong, good, bad, yes, no, and therefore can be uninspiring. Don't ever take a risk of calling a monitor evaluator to have an inspiring talk on the day one of an induction program. He first of all is going to ask you, why do you need people to be inspired? That's a monitor evaluator. Looks at facts, looks at logic, looks at the analysis, the right and wrong. But you need someone to tell you. He can see the humps on the road. He can see the potholes ahead. He can see the speed breakers from a mile. Where the shaper is riding the bike without bothering because he can always ride over the hump. A monitor evaluator says, hold on, don't rush. I can see a problem over there. Right, wrong, analysis. So two sides of the brain, and of course the third thinking role is somebody like a blotting paper, absorbs knowledge and ready to give it when you need it. You need to just ask him perhaps. A specialist, single-minded, motivated by the pursuit of knowledge. Knowledge for knowledge's sake itself is valuable. That itself is beautiful. Pursuit of knowledge itself is rewarding. And a specialist always says, oh, if you tell a specialist, you must be damn good in this subject. You've been studying this for 4 years. Probably the answer could be, oh, the more I read, the more I discover how much more I need to know. There's so much more to study. Contributes on a narrow thread, can be a little bit sometimes tricky, a little bit fussy on technicalities. 9 different types of roles. Look at all these words, my friend. None of them, we call it personality, they are behavior. BELBIN looks at behavior. BELBIN is not about personality, BELBIN is about behavior. There are three things that shape our lives if you look at human behavior. One is our DNA. DNA is what we are born with. As of now, we are understanding DNA a little bit. It'll take a long time to decipher DNA. Maybe 50 years from now, we'll have techniques to really look at DNA and adapt people accordingly or fit people accordingly. Maybe 100 years from now, you might even have a DNA mutation techniques. God forbid, if it happens, I am not going to be alive then, but I wish it doesn't happen then. And third is behavior. What are we worried about? We look at behavior. Behavior is something you say and do. What you say and what you do is behavior. If only we can understand human behavior, not look at why, not look at the personality, we can work in organizations very effectively. That is affable, path-breaking discovery of Medit BELBIN. And look at each one of them, as I told you just now. The strength, when it becomes extreme, can become a weakness. If I'm too analytical, I can be slow-moving. If I'm too creative and imaginative, I'm not communicating. If I'm too goal-oriented, I may hurt people. If I'm too people-oriented, I may become indecisive. If I am too process-oriented, I become inflexible. If I'm too perfection-driven, I can be anxious, fussy, finicky. So what are the greatest takeaways you can have after this webinar? Many, of course. One of them would be, many times what we think is, if I have something and you don't have it, it is your weakness. I'm creative. Oh, you're not creative. You're not creative because I'm creative and that's my strength, and the guy is not creative, therefore it's a weakness. No. What I have, if you don't have, is not a weakness. Whatever you have, if the price you pay for when it's extreme is a weakness, and same thing applies to me. Then the moment we see this, we start looking at weakness in a uniquely different way. They are allowable weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. And why are we worried about weaknesses when we are so much to worry about the strengths that we can work on? So there are 9 types of team roles. And the beauty is that all the 9 team roles, all of us have got. All of us, the 20 or 25, all of us in this room, in this webinar, all of us have got all the 9 team roles. The only difference is, it is not that God has given you only a couple of roles and has not given you a couple of roles, really speaking. All of us have got all the 9 team roles, but the interesting part is, some of them are preferred team roles. Some are our natural preferences. Some are our manageable team roles. I mean, we can handle it. We can use it. These behaviors we can, when we try, it comes quite nicely. The preferred roles automatically come. We are good at it. We love doing it. And some are our least preferred roles. Unless we push it, they won't happen. So all of us have got all the 9 team roles, the preferred, the manageable, and the least preferred team roles. These are not about skills. These are not about knowledge. These are about inclination. These are about our orientation. If only we all can do and understand each other's orientation, we can all be much better. And when we talk of behavior, what kind of behavior are we talking? We are what we repeatedly do. I didn't say this yesterday. Somebody said it a couple of centuries ago. Aristotle. Therefore, human beings, people in organization, your boss, your colleague, your family, we all can spot repetitive behavior in people. We can see it. We know it. Not only that, we can also spot one-off behavior. Sometimes on a particular day, the boss who normally talks a lot is quiet in the meeting on the day. I'm sure when you come out of the meeting, you have a little murmurs and whispers, and you say, what happened today? He's quiet today. Something wrong. Same thing happens in family also. You go home, normally a little cheerful. One day you just go and just drop the bag and sit in the sofa, just bump yourself on the sofa. Even your child who is 5 years old can spot something wrong with their dad or mom. We can spot, because everyone is smart enough, intelligent enough to observe others' behavior. It's all about behavior that Medit BELBIN talks about it. And if we can manage this, we can be much, much better. And the beauty is, all of us have got all the 9 team roles. Some are naturally preferred, some are manageable, some are least, and therefore, we are different from one another. We are different from one another, and we are not the same. Sometimes I say, thank God we are not the same as of now, at least. I don't know how the future generations would be. We are not the same. I think the moment we start understanding the differences, the moment we start understanding that we are not the same, we are different, we're okay to be different, and look at our strengths and say that we all have weaknesses, and we have all the 19 roles, some are preferred, some are manageable, some are least preferred, then it opens a new window, it opens a new vista of high quality working relationship, effective working relationship. So let's now step up to the ladder, next level, BELBIN for effective working relationship. Right, I'm going to show a little picture, just a little slide with something coming up here, popping here. Okay, just look at this nicely. Okay, just see there are 2 people here, and I think I just put plus here, and I've left something empty as a fill in the blank. So what is a word that you would like to fill here? Come on, try something. What's the word you like to fill? We are danced with people with whom we are compatible. You can see the song and dance. Okay, comfortable, very shy, you are very smart, very, oh my God, too many comfortables are coming in. It's fantastic, not too bad. I've also got something right here which is comfortable. All right, good. We are comfortable. Let's look at the picture now. Another picture. We are, I'll show the picture, don't be in a hurry. I know you can. Okay, right, okay, right, okay, that's clear now. We know that now. Now we know that. Now you see that. Absolutely. What do you think is happening between these 2 guys? You think they're having a fun time? No. So what's the word you will fill in? Come on, give me something. Simple words. Negative, irritated, conflicting, uncomfortable. Wow, fantastic. All the words are synonyms. Uncomfortable. With whom we're incompatible. Oh, that's fantastic. Good. Now I'm going to do the next one. It's a bit of a trick. Before we do the trick, I'm going to give you a little simple insight. Look at the insight. This is a classic statement. Treat other people as you would like to be treated. Very true. All scriptures talk about it. Islam talks about it. Christianity talks about it. Hinduism talks about it. Zoroastrianism talks about it. All scriptures talk about treat other people as you like to be treated. This is so powerful because it is on ethics, it's on principle, it's on values. I would not like somebody to be dishonest to me, therefore I would like to be honest with people. That's perfect, valuable. Right. But when it comes to work context, when it comes to normal interaction with people, if you use the word treat other people as you would like to be treated, there is an assumption in this statement which may not be valid, which may not be true. What could be the assumption? Which may not be true. Treat other people as you would like to be treated, which may not be true because of an assumption inside the statement which may not be valid. What can be that assumption, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Some words on the chat box. Like to hear 1 or 2, 3. What could be the assumption? A little tricky question, but not very difficult for a smart group. Yes, what can be that? Yes, I'd like to hear 1 or 2 quickly. Aha, KR, that's fantastic. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right. The person may not be the same. And we just said that the other person may not be the same. Therefore, if you're going to change this sentence a little bit, just a wee bit, how will you change this sentence? How will you change it? What will be the words that will come to you? Yeah, just a wee bit change. Maybe just 1 word needs to be changed, that's all. How will that be? Come on, somebody try it out. Somebody quickly pop in on your chat box and send me simple words. Just 1 word change. Same sentence, 1 word change. Let me put it there. Let me see that. Let's see what Natrajan says. Thank you, Natrajan. Before that, for VV0550 as well. Oh, super. Treat other people as they would like to be treated. So brilliant. That means BELBIN Team Role helps us to discover how others like to be treated. And therefore, if you do that, let's go back to this once again. We are comfortable, beautiful. We are uncomfortable, beautiful. Now, look at this sentence very carefully. Look at this very carefully. Don't be in a hurry. We are tasked with people with whom we are incompatible when we understand and complement each other. When we understand and complement each other. What could be the words? What could be the one word to fill in here? I've added a new dimension of a sentence. What could be the new word? Come on. I want you to try it out now. Absolutely. Productive, that's fantastic. A little more than comfortable, NCC. You are right. Shravanti just said that productive. Joe Killer said productive. We are. Look at these two guys going there. One is a navigator in a rally. The other one is a driver. The driver has to drive, but the navigator has to show the way very beautifully. Both cannot be exactly the same. Both have a lovely different role to perform. Therefore, we are effective. We are productive. You can see they are different people. I've not given the names. One is a shaper. The other one is a monitor evaluator. Complementary. Fantastic, Kiran. Okay. Look at this good old expression. We heard it time and again centuries ago. Opposites attract. If you go back to physics, like poles repel, unlike poles attract. I don't think, but the only thing is we forgot the physics. We are talking about, opposites attracting. That's a part of opposites attracting, really speaking. Okay. And therefore, is that true in human behavior as well? If you look at the team role opposites very clearly, you see nicely. A shaper drives, goal-oriented shaper drives. But the heat is high, friction is very high. You need someone who can support, the team worker supports. They are opposites, but both can work beautifully. A coordinator gets the best out of people, generalizes, encourages different views and ideas with a direction in mind. But the opposite is a specialist who gets deeper into subject. A coordinator is more of a wit. You have a plan who comes up with ideas, theorizes, conceptual, and you got somebody you got to really look at doing it, implement and applies. And of course, you have a resource investigator who recognizes opportunities outside. We can do that. We can do this. They are doing this. Why not we do this? That's a resource investigator. But somebody has to improve what is already working well, better and better to reach high standards of perfection. So you can see the opposites. Of course, one guy who doesn't have an opposite is a monitor evaluator. He is binary right or wrong. The beauty is that opposites can work very beautifully together. The moment we recognize this concept of opposites, which is physics, natural science, why not be natural human behavior as well? Then we start seeing working relationship in a completely different perspective, and that is what BELBIN does. But BELBIN does it very beautifully. All that we do in a very simple. We create a BELBIN team role profile for person A and a BELBIN team role profile for person B. And then we know each one's preferred team roles, manageable team role, least preferred team roles, and the other person's preferred team roles, least preferred team roles, and the manageable team roles, and superimpose one on the other. It's almost like matching to lovely. It's like a skirt and the top matching beautifully. It's like the sari and the blouse matching. It's like the trouser and the shirt matching. You simply match it very beautifully, and presto, that's what you get. BELBIN Working Relationship Report. I'm not going to get into details of that, but I want to show you very quickly how it looks very beautiful, very powerful. Look at this lovely report. You've got two people, Sam T and Chris R. Sam is the boss, the manager. Chris is a person reporting. If I have Sam's team role, and Chris's team role, let's see how it looks. And you've got 9 team roles: plant, resource investigator, coordinator, shaper, monitor evaluator, team worker, implementer, computer finisher, specialist. And you can see the blue, which is Sam, and the red, which is Chris, and you can see it's on a percentile scope. You can see so beautifully, you can see Chris is full of ideas. Chris is very outgoing. Chris likes to encourage people to participate. Chris also has a sense of a little bit of a direct goal orientation. Does Chris? Go back to the English expression, an animal, different animal, very lovely human being. And you are the blue, the boss, Sam. Logical, analytical, facts, likes an Excel. Probably plant makes a report, scribbles on a piece of paper. And once evaluator asks him, I thought you were going to do it on an Excel sheet. Both are okay teamwork, which is not too bad. And you can see Sam is a process-driven, organized, lovely implementer. Let's get things done. Let's do it properly. And you can see Sam has an eye for perfection. And Chris, it's okay. And you can see both are having a little bit of a deep interest in terms of getting into depth of a subject as well. So if you look at this, you can see that they are not exactly the same. If we don't do BELBIN team roles, these two guys would bet loggerheads. I don't know why Chris is like that. I can't understand my boss. I better work for someone else. But if you understand each other, the uncomfort, the discomfort disappears and productivity begins. So it gives you a predictive behavior of how this relationship will be. It's almost a prognosis of how the relationship would be. And here's a prognosis report that a BELBIN team role working relationship produces. I'm not going to get into detail very quickly. On the basis of top team role combination can difficulty, because Chris is looking at systems and procedure. Sam says, Chris is not looking, Sam says is important. But if you allow Chris to have a strong external role, which is a resource investigator role, Chris is going to be quite happy about it. Tell me, friends, if we help people to get the best out of themselves by using their natural preferences more often, wouldn't it be a lovely place to live? Look at second team roles. They can get on well since they both appreciate a bit of a coordination. Of course, Sam should make sure that occasional guidance is required for Chris, but he can't sit and look at his shoulders, go over his shoulders to see everything he's doing is right. And some questions are being raised. That means this provides a prognosis of how we can work with each other very well once we understand. Respect strengths, respect weaknesses, accept weakness and start working. Identifies difficult chemistry and build mutually beneficial working relationship. It's all chemistry. And if you don't know two liquids and we just put them together in a test laboratory, if they are just not the right ones, I think there'll be fire over there. But if you know, the same fire is required to handle the job very effectively as well. So that's on BELBIN team role and working relationship. 7 guidelines to effective working relationship. This presentation will be available to you. It'll also be available on the recording. And I'll be happy to have you raise questions later. Write to me, connect with me. Everything is done with a simple, earnest view to offer value to you. That's all, nothing else. Number 1, most important, it's good to be different. I'm not saying it's okay to be different. I'm saying it's good to be different. Thank God we are different is a better word. How to use another expression? Celebrate differences. Number 2, effectiveness comes from complementarity. One of you used the word nicely. Yes, you complement, then it's effective. If it's the same, it's not effective together. Number 3, it is not the person, but his natural inclination, her natural inclination that create the differences. Don't attribute motives to behavior. BELBIN looks at behavior, not the why. We don't need to, unless there's a psychological flaw, unless there's a destructive behavior. Normal behavior with all its fallacies, all its failings is perfectly fine. None of us are perfect. Nobody is perfect, but 2 people together can be, a team can be. So don't look at the person, but look at the inclination and don't attribute motives to behavior. Communicate to the other person's preferences are not based on your preferences. If I have a monitor evaluator, I'm talking to him. I will put a structure in the conversation. It is not that I'm naturally structured, but a monitor evaluator needs it. So at that moment, If I'm not a monitor evaluator, I will bring forward my manageable team role or even occasionally a least preferred team role to use it for that moment because then the communication is effective. And the good old expression, as you all know, communication is not what you say, but what you achieve. And BELBIN Team Role helps you to do that with a language or behavior to communicate well. We all have our strengths. Look at the strengths and work on them. That is far more effective than contain weaknesses is important. We don't spread weaknesses. We don't highlight weaknesses. Contain, using the strengths and not highlighting. If one strength can compensate for someone else's weakness, the weakness gets contained. Why are we worried about making everyone perfect? Contain weaknesses using the strengths and not highlighting them. Finally, let go at times. If somebody is a stronger plant, and I'm a plant, but his ideas are flourishing well, I would step back a little bit. And BELBIN Team Role gives a beautiful dimension to let go, instead reach out. I'm a plant. You're a monitor evaluator. I have a great idea. I go to you and say that, hey, I got a fantastic idea, but I want you as a monitor evaluator to analyze and tell me what is wrong in this so that the idea can be sharpened nicely. I reach out to you, then you give your best, I give my best, and together we produce outstanding, effective output, and therefore better working relationship. So, quickly summarizing the 7 guidelines. Good to be different. Effectiveness comes from complementarity, not the person, but natural inclination. Communicate using other person's preferences. Recognize strengths. Contain weaknesses. Let go at times. Instead, reach out. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it takes 2 to tango. You can't have a dance with one. It takes 2 to tango. Working relationships can really be effective because it takes 2 to tango. If you understand BELBIN, if you understand human behavior, if you understand complementarity, working relationship can be outstandingly productive. That's the natural law. Opposites attract. Why not in behavior and get the best out of each other and make it a productive, harmonious, warm, high output driven working relationship. It takes 2 to tango. Right. That completes the webinar. And if you want to share any thoughts, just let me know. And if you want to really discuss something in more detail, you want to spend some time about this, you can write to me. It'll be wonderful as well. If I ask you guys, any one of you, before you switch off, what is one important takeaway of message for you? What will be that one important takeaway for you? Just one message. Could it just pop in on your chat box? One key message that you're taking. Let go 70. It's fantastic. I'd like to hear from everyone as quickly as possible. One great message you're going to take home and say, I'm going to do this. I love it. What's that? Come on. 2 to tango. Okay, great. Reach out. Fantastic, Subramaniam. It's good to be different. Maybe 0550. Comfortable that we are different. Brilliant, Kiran. Reach out and compliment Kiran back. Yes, Kiran. Very lovely. Be complimentary to be effective. Brilliant. Absolutely. Appreciate difference. Aaron Paul. Absolutely fantastic. It's so easy, isn't it, if you know it? Yes, very good one. Very good one. Anything else? Anyone else? Yes. Anyone else? Anything else you want to share quickly? One learning. Everyone is important. Absolutely. 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 Treat people as they want to be treated. Brilliant. Brilliant, Subramanian. Absolutely. Great. What else? Anyone else? Some more for the evening. Yes. Treat people as they want to be treated. Absolutely. Good. Good. Right. Fantastic. Good. All right. Thank you so much, guys. And it's been fantastic. Let me send you a lovely thank you note. Thank you very much. Let's make the world a better place. Thank you very much. Let's make the world a better place. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.